hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. It's been a while. It feels like it's been like 50 years, but literally it's been just one day. Yeah, yesterday I was on TK's stream. We talked about Arsenal, Rodrigo, Eze, and all that good stuff. Obviously, the game against Villarreal. Tomorrow, Arsenal, of course, play against Athletic Bilbao in the Emirates Cup and all that good stuff. We'll see what tomorrow brings, what starting 11 it brings, and all this, everything. But today we got some fantastic news as an Arsenal fans. Let's be real, Ethan Nwaneri signed a new deal, which obviously raises the big question whether that's gonna put a damper and a hamper and handcuffs and all this stuff on in terms of signing Eberecheze or whoever. I'm not gonna lie, because it's starting to feel like we are not gonna sign anyone. At the same time, it's getting there. We are getting there in a week. Arsenal, well, Premier League kicks off in a week. Today, Championship kicks off and different leagues kick off. Definitely going to be watching some football over the weekend, of course. But obviously, the question remains, where could Arsenal finish this season? Who is going down? Who is staying up? And all that good stuff. So today on the stream, we're going to talk about some Arsenal transfer rumors, of course. But also, what we are going to do is gonna do Premier League predictions video. Well, stream, let's just put it that way. We're gonna do Premier League predictions stream, which should be very interesting given that obviously the top is gonna be a massive debate and the bottom is gonna be a massive debate. Mid-table, it also obviously it's always hit and miss, but we definitely gonna do all that good stuff. So smash the likes if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new around here. Almost at 850. Road to 901k is going strong. And of course, leave your thoughts down the live chat so we can discuss them, we can tackle them, and of course, we can go from there. Big up Football Locker Room Banter. Hope you're doing well. Big up James, Shaq. Big up to you all. Big up. Hope you're doing well today. Saw you on Views the stream today. Was fun. I'm not gonna lie, it was fun. Obviously, big up to James for being the one that was arguably the one that is still believing in Arteta at the same time, having all against all of the Arteta elders and all this stuff. Big up to you, of course. But yeah, of course, what we're gonna kick things off today is, of course, the big news regarding Arsenal is the fact that Arsenal have signed Ethan Nwaneri. Yes, Arsenal have re-signed Ethan Nwaneri on a new deal. We'll see how that impacts our future transfer businesses, because I think that is definitely going to be a different topic. Genuinely gonna be a different topic, because at the moment it looks like we are not signing anyone. It genuinely looks like we are not signing anyone. Yeah, I know. I understand, because I have been on on both sides of the fence. I have been on the both sides of the fence of Arteta in and Arteta out at different stages, obviously. And it's not an easy job. It's not an easy job being Arteta in when everyone's Arteta out. And being Arteta out when you are on Arteta in streams, also, it's not the easiest. Let's just put it that way. Big up. And go subscribe to Football Locker Room Banter as well. They're pushing out great content. They're almost at 100 subscribers, so go show them some love and everything. And big up AFC always. Big up 52 on Madueke before actually addressing the first team. No sympathy from me, win me trophies or get out of my club. Yeah, 100% totally agree. I totally agree. And to be honest, that is I'm not gonna lie, that has been the premises for the longest time already. For me, it has been quite a few seasons since it's been like that. And it's not just this season. But for many people, it's just now. It's just now like that. And it's gonna be very interesting to see whether the people who are saying all this stuff win now or get out and everything, right? Will they stand by their opinions? Because it was like that in the beginning of last season, and the goalposts moved by game, basically. It was like that also. It's already happening during this transfer window. Some players coming in, well, no one's going out, but that's a different story. And still, goalposts are moving all over the place. Let's just put it that way. But regarding Ethan Nwaneri, I'm very happy he has resigned. Not gonna lie, that was also one of the big things. If Andrea Berta can manage to re-sign Saliba on a new deal and Saka on a new deal, not gonna lie, all praise to him and everything on his locker. I will personally send him a pineapple and a melon just to say thank you. Genuinely. But yeah, it's actually quite fantastic that Nwaneri has resigned. The big question is how that fits into Arteta's plans for next season, because as you can see, AFC always also is saying this, that you just know Arteta is going to loan out Nwaneri out. And that for me now is the biggest question. I think he should be playing games for Arsenal, knowing how Arteta treated him last season, how disrespectful that was. And we could see the same also with Max Dauman, of course. I'm not so sure what to expect. Because those two have been arguably the highlight of the preseason so far. Both of them, Nwaneri and Max, both have showed up whole of the main senior squad. Without shadow of doubt, they have showed them up. They have been quite fantastic this preseason. They have been one of the bright spots this preseason. So the big question, so the big question still remains: will they play or not? Yeah, I'm also happy about Nwaneri. Very, 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 very happy. I bet Ethan has some guarantees in his contract. Like those were the rumors when they were talking about Ethan's new deal, that it's close, it's advancing. There are discussions that it's on the table and everything. There were talks that Ethan wants more game time and everything, and it looks like he might have gotten it. Now the biggest thing is Nwaneri plays 10. Arteta envisions as a right winger, though. Nwaneri has said it himself in an interview that Arteta wanted to play him as a right winger. His natural position is 10, yet Mikel Arteta last season during interviews said that he, in a couple years' time, envisions Nwaneri as a number 9. So, again, I'm kind of a bit confused. Where is he going to play? Especially with Max Dauman coming in, that he also can play number 10 and the right wing. At least whilst Arteta is here, especially number 10 arguably is one of those positions where you kind of cannot get in even, because Arteta prefers Odegaard over anyone in the world, what it feels like. Same goes for Saka, Havertz. As long as they can walk, they're going to play. If they are jumping on one leg, they're still going to play. So that for me is the big question. He should have some guarantees over game time. I just don't want to be the situation where he pretty much plays guaranteed cup games. FA Cup, Carabao Cup games against Yeovil Towns, Bradford Cities, and teams like that. I just want them also to play in Premier League, in bigger games. I want them to play also in Champions League. Obviously, Max Dauman cannot because he is too young, but Nwaneri can. So it will be very interesting to see how Arteta rotates these guys. Very, very, very interesting to see, to say the least. We don't sign Eze, have 1 year in the 10. Yeah, I also starting to feel that way. I'm also starting to feel that we are not signing Eze or a left winger even. Because season kicks off in a week. There are 3 weeks left in the transfer window. Unless we manage in span of a week and a half to offload about 3 players, and that includes one of the left wingers, I'm not too sure we are going to sign a left winger. That for me now is the biggest issue and the biggest question mark. Because one of the biggest things always has been reported that for Arsenal to sign a left winger, it means that we need to sell a left winger, Trossard or Martinelli. Recent reports suggest that Martinelli is kind of untouchable to some extent, and Trossard is in the market, allegedly. Apparently, Arsenal are not going to stand in their way. So that for me now is the big question. What is going to happen in those terms? What is going to happen if we actually manage to sell? Because so far those links and all the rumors have been so vague, so random and everything. So I don't actually know. So let me know what you think in the chat. How much Nwaneri is going to play next season? Because that for me right now is the biggest question mark. How much Ethan Nwaneri is going to play next season? Because at the moment, I am a bit confuzzled. I'm genuinely a bit confuzzled how much game time he is going to get in terms of game time regarding Premier League specifically and Champions League specifically. Because those for me are the 2 places where he should be playing. Just the question is how much. And that for me right now is the biggest question mark of them all. Because Nwaneri has shown that he's good enough, he's technical enough, he has the abilities. Obviously, the issue with everything together to put is they are better, what it looks like on the pitch, than most of the squad. And mostly that is because they basically play opposite of the style that Mikel Arteta wants to play. Because those 2 guys, as soon as they get ball, their first thought is go forwards, attack, take on opponent, shoot, and everything. Create chaos, create havoc, and score a goal. Those are their first thoughts. If you look how our senior team plays, right? We play the straight opposite, which right now is the biggest worry. Because the longer Mikel Arteta stays here, the bigger are the chances. Bigger are the chances that they are gonna kind of succumb to that level. Their swagger, let's just put it that way, that they have come out with from the Hale End is gonna get coached out of them. That for me now is the other big worry I have, and I'm not too sure what to make of it in general. And that for me now is the next big worry if we talk about Ethan Nwaneri. Some minor updates regarding Arsenal. I'm not gonna lie, Calafiori is back in training. Obviously, Havertz is gonna be playing during the season. He's gonna be ready for when the season kicks off, but apparently he's not ready to play tomorrow. Calafiori was pictured in the training today. Gabriel is also training a bit more, just like Timba. How much they're gonna play tomorrow remains to be seen. It genuinely remains to be seen. For me, the biggest worry is the fact that we have to go to play United with Kivior at center back. That for me is one of the biggest worries at the moment. And we haven't also seen a single game of the best available 11 Arsenal can put out right now. We haven't seen a single game, which is another worry, because for me, preseason is to get in shape and to figure out how other players play on the pitch. Like, tactics, movements, some body shapes, how they drop a shoulder and everything. And so far, we haven't seen the main 11 play together whatsoever. That for me, again, is the big question mark. Nwaneri is 18, Dauman is 15, putting some shame on established players. Yeah. And to be honest, to most of them, if you exclude Bukayo Saka of the equation, you could argue that those two are better than the rest of them. So far, at least in preseason. Even Reece Nelson, who had an injury, surgery, has come back. He looks better in preseason than Martinelli and Trossard combined. That for me is another thing. A player Arsenal arguably is desperate to get rid of is playing better than our main left wingers. Our main two left wingers, which now again is another big question mark. Another big question mark. So, yeah, but talking about outgoings, here is some talks about Karl Hein as well. Big up Marlon. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well today, my guy. Hope everything is fantastically well. Hope everything is well with you. Calafiori is back. We'll see how that goes. Cala Stupido. Look at what money Chelsea and Liverpool have got from player sales. It's something like 200 million. Yes. Chelsea at the moment have sold players in overall value of around 200 million. And there is talk that they could still, in the next 3 weeks till window shuts closed, recoup extra 100 to 150 million, which means that potentially by the end of the window, they actually could recoup around 300 to 350 million. We cannot recoup 350 million over a decade of sales. They do that in one window. So that pretty much tells you why we can sell and we cannot sell and sign. We cannot sign, but Chelsea are just playing jump rope with all of that. So says a lot, doesn't it? But yeah, Levante are interested in signing Arsenal goalkeeper, apparently Karl Hein, on a loan deal. The Gunners are prioritizing a sale and will entertain permanent offers before transfer deadline, which again now kind of indicates to me personally that the more teams come in for Arsenal players with loan offers, we're going to reject those. Or we're going to put them on hold. We're going to wait till someone comes in with an actual offer in terms of a signing, in terms of a sale, in terms of a value, in terms of money, basically. Which, again, could work, but also could be a very cruel trick on us in the last few weeks. And we are not in a position, in my opinion, where we can wait. We need right now and get the job done. We are not in a position to sit tight and patiently wait. We need action. We need being proactive. We need movements. We need advancements. We need everything to develop and go forwards. That, for me, is the other big thing. Drip God, man. I hate that. I genuinely hate. Player is here to play football, not model merch. Hey, stop the Call of Duty disrespect with him. We didn't lose any matches. So what? Did we win anything? No, we didn't. That's it. He's not reliable. Left back, he doesn't perform as he should be performing as a left back. And as a center back, well, We haven't seen him there to judge him. So for me, he is a center back. He's not a left back. And until he plays left back, I'm not gonna praise him for not being played in the correct position as well. Calafiori for me is and has been a center back. I've been saying this for the longest time. For the longest time, and people tell me he's a left back. He's not. For me, he's not. He's for Bologna and other teams when he has played. Yes, he has played left back on occasion, but mostly he plays center back in three at the back, and for Italy, by the way. Or he can also play left wing back. I envision also that. But as a lone left back, I don't see it whatsoever. He is not left center back. He is center back. What are you even saying? You just said he is not a center back. He is a center back. What? He's center back and he's getting forced to play. Yeah, exactly. He plays center back everywhere besides Arsenal, pretty much. He has played left back about 2 seasons ago when he more or less burst on the scene and he had to play there. But overall, he's a center back. Yeah, no argument about that. And in some comical news, let's just put it that way, Arsenal have signed a contract with Coca-Cola. Yes, with Coke. Not that type of Coke. Our official soft drink partners. Wow. Coca-Cola are the most recognized brand in the history of the world. See, top Gunners are excited about all this stuff instead of a player and winning and trophies. They much rather see us having a Coca-Cola as a partner and actually win a trophy. That's ironic. Look at the issue with this is, right? Look at the next 2 sentences. Chelsea still doesn't have a shirt sponsor. When you're big, right? This is what they are saying. Genuinely, this is what they are saying. I quote tweeted this, right? Please tell me I'm one of the upper ones. Yeah, see? And see, this is what they tweeted, and I quote tweeted that with this. Chelsea has trophies, though, unlike Arsenal in the last few years. At the end of the day, for me personally, it doesn't matter to some extent what sponsors you have. Well, until a certain level, right? For me matters how much you win trophies. Because the more you win trophies, the better sponsors you get, more exposure you get, more advertising you get, more money you get at the end of the day. And Chelsea have won 2 trophies in 1 year. Phase 1 Maresca. Arsenal have won, well, nothing in the last 5 years. So says a lot. Yes, we have Coca-Cola and deal and all that crap. But at the end of the day, is that a trophy? Is that Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup? Is that something we can put in our cabinet? It's going to be written in the history that we are the champions of this specific tournament in 25-26 season? No, it's not. It's not going to be anything like that, which is actually quite insane that people are actually more excited about shirt sponsors than actual winning trophies. And that is the whole premises of the Arsenal fan base at the moment, big part of Arsenal's fan base. They're more excited about merch, players modeling merch, how they look in street clothes because they set fashion trends. They're more excited about brand deals and all this stuff than rather winning. Seriously, like it's somehow as backwards. It genuinely somehow is as backwards, which for me personally makes 0 sense. But hey, who am I to judge it, right? I'm toxic, I'm negative, I'm a fake fan, as they say. But hey, I guess it is what it is. But yeah, anyways, here comes the big one. Here comes the big one. Today, we are gonna do this. This is the thing I wanted to do today. Premier League predictions. Premier League predictions. Who's gonna win it? Who's getting second to fifth? Who's gonna get the Europa League, Conference League? Who's gonna be mid-table, top and bottom half? And who is getting relegated? Today, on the stream, together, we are doing Premier League predictions for 25-26 season. Obviously, the thing is, you see 6 available tabs, and there are 20 teams, which means we are not going to do this by position. However, we're going to do this by position. Basically, how it's going to work, the more team is to the left, basically closer to the colored screen, red, basically pink, orange, yellow, or that is going to be higher place. So, for example, the prompt UCL, second to fifth place. The closer the badge is basically to the text UCL, the higher they will be in the table, in our opinion at least. That's what we're gonna do today. Big up, Sean. Hope you're doing well. Using sponsorships as a measure for being big is so pathetic. We aren't serious. We are not. We are definitely not. AFC, aka Arsenal Football Club, doesn't mean Arsenal Football Club anymore. AFC stands for Arsenal Fashion Club because that's what we do. That's genuinely what we are doing. We are modeling merch, we are brand deals, and all this stuff. We are not winning. Personally, for me, Brentford, they lost Norga and Buemo. Brentford will be Brentford is going to be weak. Yes, they have signed some players and everything. They have signed Kelleher. They're going to move forwards. But ultimately, they're not going to be the Brentford they used to be. Also, if they manage to somehow, if they don't manage to hold on to Wissa, they also will be going out, potentially. Anyways, let's do this, people. Let's do this, people. We have the badges. We have it all. Let's do this. Relegation. Relegation. So what are we saying? Which teams are going down next season? What are your thoughts? What are your predictions? Before I put my on, because I genuinely don't want to influence you a lot, tell me what you think. Who is going down? Because I have literally 3 teams in mind. I have 4 technically, but I'm going to sway to 3 teams. Here are the badges. Here are the ones. And let me know what you think in the chat, because this is going to take a while. So it's going to be very, very, very interesting because I have a few ideas. Genuinely. I genuinely have a few ideas. Big up, Joe. Big up, big up, big up, big up. Hope you're doing well today, my guy. Big up. Yeah, this is a tough one. It is. It doesn't matter. Like, you kind of, this relegation, I think 17th, 18th is going to be the toughest ones to some extent. And of course, the top 5 and everything. But for relegation, I have teams in mind. Which are your teams? For me, which are your teams? That's why Top Gunner / Artena fanboys don't add. But yeah, anyways, people, serious talk. We are doing predictions. So for me personally, since nobody's putting it in the chat, by the way. So for me personally, that the 3 teams that are going down, that could be going down, or in my opinion will be going down, are going to be Sunderland is going to be in the mix, Burnley is going to be in the mix, and I'm very undecided between Leeds, Brentford, and maybe Bournemouth, but Bournemouth is going to be an interesting one to overall to look at it. So I'm basically, let's just put it that way. Let's do this. Let's put 5 teams here, the ones that in our opinion could be going down, basically. So let's see. These are the 5 teams I think who are the, I don't want to say favorites, but who are the odds on could be going down, basically. So Burnley 20th, Sunderland 19th, Brentford 18th, 17th Leeds, 16th Bournemouth, 15th Wolves, but could be at any order. That is the big thing, hence why we are doing this, hence why they are doing this. Surely Sunderland won't go back down, right? Personally, I think Leeds and Burnley are gonna go straight back down. Except Burnley will be bottom for sure. And that for me is the big thing. I think Brentford and Bournemouth will fall off brutally. I think so too, especially since Bournemouth, for example, they have lost Elanga. Yes, they have found a replacement, but we'll have to wait and see. Zabarny apparently is going to PSG. Yes, they are signing Diakite from Lille as his replacement, but kind of not convinced as of yet. Genuinely not convinced as of yet. Bournemouth saving grace is their manager, even though they lost a lot of players. Yeah, at least Bournemouth has a somewhat decent manager. That is the case. So what I'm thinking is this. Burnley are going to be 20th. You know what? Like this. I think it's gonna be like this: Burnley 20th, Sunderland is gonna be 19th, and Brentford and Leeds could be in the mix for being 18th. That for me is the biggest thing. Brentford has lost Frank and top players, yes, and Brentford has lost Buemo, Norgard. They have lost also the goalkeeper. Yes, they have replaced him with Kelleher, so we'll have to see how that goes. They have also lost their main part of the team, which is the manager. You're right. And also, the big question remains about Wissa. Whether he's staying at Brentford, whether he's going to go still in this window, that is still under the question mark. So, give me a second. So for me, that is the biggest question. How is that gonna develop? For me, the Leeds one is the big question mark, because I think Leeds are gonna be flirting with going down. Whether it's gonna be throughout the whole season, whether it's gonna be only towards the second part of the season after Boxing Day, that remains to be seen. But for me, one of the biggest weaknesses for Leeds personally, right, is the goalkeeping spot. If they have they signed a proper goalkeeper, because I heard that I don't think Melier is gonna be there. Melier is not gonna be there. Let's be real, because Melier, they nearly lost the promotion to some extent. Melier is not the one for Premier League. Melier is not the one for Premier League. For me, that is the big question. Melier is not the one, so we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, ultimately for me, that is the biggest question. So, for fuck's sake, no. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Even though I don't want Sunderland to get relegated, I just feel like they're not going to be able to cope. I also feel like that. I also feel that way. Even though they have splashed insane amounts of money, I think it's not gonna be there. It's not gonna be there for them. I'm not convinced. I'm genuinely are not convinced. They are back in Premier League haven't been there for the longest time, but I don't think we need time where Wissa will leave too. He's boycotting training. See, so Brentford is gonna be in tough spot. Leeds will be 17th. I think Leeds will be in that fight. They will be 17th. I think Leeds could scrape the 17th place, staying in Premier League by about 3-4 points. Not 2-3 points. One win basically is gonna separate them, and I wouldn't be surprised if it also comes down to the last 2-3 weeks of the season as well. I would not be surprised whatsoever. Yeah, but you see Sunderland spend 100+ million transfers. No way they go down. Like, that is the thing. Not always spending money works out. Let's just put it that way. Not always spending lots of money works out that way. That for me is the big thing. Ultimately, if you ask me, that is not the big thing, because shut up. So that for me is not the big thing, because they have signed Diarra, yes, Adingra, Lefi, Talbi, Siddiqui, Jaka, Rofs, Reynaldo, Margiu on loan and everything, but I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Something just doesn't convince me, because they have lost Joe Bellingham, which is massive, and replacing Joe Bellingham for them is gonna be rough. Also, Tom Watson has gone to Brighton, which also is not gonna be easy to replace. So I think it's a very hit and miss in those terms. Oh, I did mine an hour ago. Big up Beggy. I think your 20 to 17th is spot on. Big up. To be honest, I can also do this, because the next places I still haven't decided upon. On players who are new to the country, and Premon, Gio, and Lefi are good players. Jack will be good, but not. Yeah, I also think it's not going to be enough. My preferred to drop would be Burnley, Brentford, and Spurs. Well, Spurs are not dropping down. Replace Spurs with Wrexham. But yeah, anyways, 13 to 17th. That is the tough one, because you don't know what's gonna happen in those gaps. Let's just put it that way. You don't know what's gonna happen in those gaps. So for me personally, right, Bournemouth is gonna be there. Leeds, right? I think Give me a sec. Everton, but they're gonna be 13th. I think Everton is gonna be higher on this list, right? Uh, Fulham and Wolves, like 13, 14, 15, 16, 5 teams. We have 5 teams here. I think the Wolves one is interesting one. Basically, Leeds are gonna be 17th, right? I think like for me, those teams will be battling out the 13th to 17th place. Personally, like that is the case. Big up Jackson, Wolves or Fulham. Yeah, I can see that. If Spurs get their last manager, they might be fighting relegation. Well, they didn't, so it is what it is. Nobody's underestimating Spurs. Just calm down. But I think Brentford will end up. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, big up Eros. Mikel music in the building. Big up Eros. Hope you're doing well. West Ham, Crystal Palace. Like for me, the thing is, Crystal Palace, it depends who they lose. Because if Crystal Palace lose Gehi and Eze, it could be rough. I actually kind of am thinking of doing this. Like take them out and do this. I'm kind of thinking about this. Like with Crystal Palace, I think it's going to be a rough one. It definitely is going to be a rough one. West Ham is that enigma type of team where it could work out, but it also could end up in the shambles. Let's just put it that way. It could work out, but it could end up in the shambles. I don't even know. Let's do this like this. Not the order specifically, but just like this. Yeah, hit the likes, people, if you haven't already. Like and subscribe, people. No particular order. Like I was thinking about doing the order, right? But I don't think it's gonna be possible. West Ham will have a roster, I think. It depends because Potter might do good things, right, Grandpa? But it depends on signings. Genuinely depends on signings. I think West Ham is going to be 15th. They're going to be somewhere down there. Just how low is the other question? Yeah, their team is a mess. Big up Eros. Fulham actually was high on the table. Yeah, like hence why I kind of think that this is going to be the 13th, and then we're going to do this basically. How 5 teams, right? I think it's going to be something like this. It could be something like this. Although United or Spurs. I think Spurs, though. Still think Spurs. Higher compared to West Ham. Yeah. They were 11th. Yeah. I get it. Like, that could be the case. Palace. Yeah. I get it. So, basically, for me personally, right now, if I look at the 8th to 12th, it's a very, like, it's very hard now to talk about the other teams because they sign the players. There are big risks. At the same time, if it hits well, it's gonna hit well and real good. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. We genuinely will have to see and wait how that goes. But ultimately, I'm not so sure yet. Brighton will do well. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. They should, but also depends who they're gonna lose. They have lost João Pedro, so that for me again is a big question mark. How that's gonna be replaced, right? At the same time, it might work. It might not work. It's like go figure because ultimately everything depends on how they replace them. All rides on the fact how they replace them at the end of the day. Everything depends on how they replace them. Because for some of the teams, for example, if Baleba actually goes to United for 100 M's, it's going to be, again, different story for United, and it's going to be a different story for instantly for Brighton, for example, right? It solely depends on who in the last 3 weeks gets sold and who comes in and goes away, right? Because now it's very hard. It's for me, it feels like it's very disingenuous to some extent. It's not a prediction to do these predictions when season has kicked off because you get the glimpse of the teams. For me, it's kind of very interesting to do these predictions when you stab in the dark, when there are still some variables on the table, like transfer window still open, haven't seen all the teams, and you just go based on your expectations, some football knowledge on certain players they're signing, and how they could or could not work out in Premier League. Let's just put it that way. Spurs, no Son, yeah. The Madison has an ACL, and they're trying to replace him with who? We'll have to wait and see. United, way overrated, bro. Man United will hold 8 max. I don't know. Like, for me, the Spurs and United are those two teams that definitely are gonna be higher up in the table this season, right? Where though, that remains to be seen. At the moment, United's biggest issues, right? They still need a holding midfielder. They need a goalkeeper and arguably another defender. If you look at Spurs, they also need a midfielder. They need at least one attacker, and they need at least 1 or 2 more defenders. So both the teams are kind of in a similar spot, but it remained it's a coin flip between, for me, actually, which of the teams are gonna get the Conference League and which one is gonna get there. But with United signing Buemo, Cunha, and Sesko, puts me higher up on the table over Spurs. If I look at it that way. Fulham 12th, Palace 11th, Brighton, if they lose, if they don't, they will be about 8th. Yeah, I can see that. 9th, Forest, and 8th, Spurs. Yeah, something in those lines. I think those teams actually will be up there. I also believe, which is going to be a bit controversial, but bear with me here. Everton, for me, next season, feels like a team that could finish 12th. At the same time, they could finish 17th. For me, Everton is one of those teams which is a dark horse, but for mid-table race. It's a dark horse which you cannot predict like that. 8th to 10th is a toss-up, yeah. And I think I actually would also say 7th to 8th or not 7th to 9th is going to be a toss-up. I think it's going to be closer in those positions than people think. I think Villa 7th. Could be the case. We're going to get into that in a second. I think Spurs got the firepower with no Son. They do, but they need more. They don't have enough. Richarlison, Solanke, that right winger, I forgot his name. Fucking hell, my brain, the Welsh one. And they have signed a few good players as well. Kudus, of course. They need to replace Madison ASAP. Whether it's gonna be the Como Paz or whatever his name is, guy, or it's gonna be someone else remains to be seen, because they have been linked with Grealish, who is also linked with Everton. So it kind of is it's a weird one in those terms. United will get Conference League with Sesko, Cunha, and Buemo. If they get a midfielder like Baleba, they'll get up challenging it for European places, Europa or Conference League, not Champions League. Yeah, I think so too. And even if they don't get Baleba, but they go into the market and get actually a decent number 6, right? The holding midfielder, they're still gonna be up there. They still definitely are going to be up there. I think this season will show what is what for United. United won't get Baleba 90 plus. Their keeper is shit and their midfield is very bad. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. If they get Baleba, they're going to be up there. Even if they get a half-decent midfielder holding one, it could be good. Keeper, they definitely need to be improved on. They are kind of linked, with Donnarumma from PSG, because he wants bigger wages and PSG don't want to pay him that. He has 1 year left on his deal, apparently. PSG would accept about 28 to 32 million for Donnarumma, but Donnarumma wants about 270 a week, which obviously for United is a piece of cake. Then again, it's going to screw up their wage structure, so they have some options to weigh up to. But in my opinion, if United go into this season with Onana as the number 1 keeper once again, I think they could be chalked. They could finish about 8th. I wouldn't be surprised. The Onana situation is one of the biggest issues United need to fix. And time pretty much has run out for them to some extent. I think United get over Villa. I can see that, but also I kind of cannot see that. It solely depends of what Villa still does. Kind of for me, Everton is a huge question mark. For me, yes. For me, definitely Everton is a massive question mark. Moyes is back, new stadium, might get Grealish. Good surprise, exactly. They have managed to hold on to Branthwaite as well. Yes, their striker situation has left to desire much more. I'm not gonna lie, it has left to desire much more, and attacker positions in general. Let's be real. At the same time, they are one of those teams that really, 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 if they sniff out blood and they manage to leave their teeth marks into the game, they might get something out of it against anyone. That for me is the case. Arsenal could get seventh. Well, we're gonna get into that. Yeah, Brennan Johnson. Thank you, Brennan Johnson. Thank you. They look poor versus Barnes Youth in that second half. Yeah, Paulinho giving away a penalty in his first game. Actually, we got Norgard instead. I get it. If we signed Paulinho about 2 seasons ago when we wanted to, I don't think we would have had issues. Right now, I think we kind of have dodged the bullet. At the same time, it depends. It solely depends how that is going to go. I'm not gonna lie. I think it solely depends how that is going to go. 13 likes, big up people. Hit the likes and subscribe. Helps the channel, or just like Eros is saying. Bournemouth have some players feel that higher mid category. Yeah, Bournemouth have some good players, but they are losing quite a few players. Only saving grace, as we talked about it previously, Bournemouth has is the manager. Like, yes, they still have Evan Nilsson. Yes, they have Kluivert and players like that, but they have lost Zabarny, they have lost Hausen, they have lost their core center-back pairing. Kerkez has gone to Liverpool, and they have lost pretty much 75% of their defense. How they are gonna replace it? That is a big question. Yes, Semenyo stayed. Yes, Semenyo stayed. But they have lost 3/4 of their defensive core from last season, which is not an ideal scenario, especially in Premier League. So for me, that is the big question mark, which is the reason why I am putting Bournemouth in the places between 13th and 17th. Just because they have lost 3/4 of their defense. And for me, that spells massive troubles. How long it's going to take for them to basically figure each other out, figure out the system and style. How long it's going to take. If they get injured, what's going to happen then? Like, too many variables. No matter how you look at it, no matter which team you look at, there are too many variables. But at the same time, yeah, don't forget we took their starting keeper. Dude, we took their starting keeper. Yet they didn't want to sign him for 5 million themselves. They much rather sign Petkovic from Chelsea, their 4th choice keeper. We signed Chelsea's 5th choice keeper. They signed Chelsea's 4th or 3rd choice keeper for 20 odd million. Like, they signed Chelsea's goalkeeper. It's not going to be Neto. That's going to be in between the sticks for them. No. They signed Chelsea's, didn't they? They signed Chelsea's goalkeeper. Like Petrovic, whatever his name is. Didn't they? Yeah. George Petrovic, 29 million euros from Chelsea. 29 million from euros. They signed him. So I wouldn't be so sure. And Petrovic was somewhat decent. He was somewhat decent for Chelsea last season. Yeah, he's injury prone. Yes, same goes for Mike Magnan, yet let's be real, he's a very decent keeper to some extent. A bit hot-headed, but it is what it is. So obviously, like, that's why I'm saying that's why Bournemouth are that enigma as well, just like Everton. Bournemouth, that's why they are. Petrovic is injured. That's why they are so low for me. 3/4 of the defense and the goalkeeper. That's why they are so low. But they have a very good coach and manager. That could be their saving grace. Yeah, Hausen's loss for them gonna bite them. Yes, the Barney and Hausen and Kerkez, they have lost their whole defense pretty much. That for me is the case, yeah. So we'll see. Watch Kepa is not going to be backup. He's going to be legitimately taking over Raya's spot if Raya keeps doing the shithouse he's been doing lately. True, but when Kepa came on against Villarreal, he didn't look that much better, did he? they both looked like basically Dumb and Dumber half the time. It's like they have a competition who can look worse in the goal. And why David Raya all of a sudden has become such a liability also, I have no idea. Whether it's just the preseason jitters or the yips, as they say, or what, I have no idea. But he has become a massive liability. And Mikel Arteta also should instruct his goalkeepers to stop goddamn play at the center circle. Because we're going to get lobbed quite often this season if that persists. We got lobbed 3 times last season already. And we could get lobbed more this season if we persist with that. That for me is a big, big worry at the moment. Big Abadgeri, well, good luck. Good luck with whatever you're signing. But that's what it feels like. Obviously, tomorrow we play against Athletic Bilbao. We'll see who's going to play in goal. Is it going to be the ex-Athletic Bilbao keeper, Kepa Arrizabalaga? Or it's going to be David Raya. One of the two. Probably is going to be both. I'm not going to lie. Probably is going to be both. But hey, that is the big question mark. Anyways, let's move on. 6th and 7th, Conference League. I'm going to do it like this. For me, United and Villa could easily be 8th, but they could also be Europa League Conference League. That could be the case. That's how I see it. That's how I see it, at least. Should have signed Garcia or maybe waited for Ter Stegen. Man was stripped of his captaincy at Barca. Yeah. At the same time, I read today that Barcelona cannot even register Juan Garcia as a goalkeeper, by the way. Because despite them selling Inigo Martinez to Al Nassr, they still haven't hit 1-per-1 obligation rule in La Liga, which means they still cannot even register Juan Garcia as their goalkeeper. They are basically racing against the clock as they do every transfer window, which is still kind of nuts, I'm not going to lie. Which is kind of nuts. Do they have Iker? He has retired. Munyain has retired. Isn't he like 35 or something? Munyain is 32. I think he's retired, hasn't he? Yeah, he has retired. Iker Munyain has retired. Munyain retired at Atletico because Nico Williams plays with Munyain's number as well. He has retired between Villa United and Newcastle. Yeah, it's going to be like that. Like the fight for 5th place, 6th place, and 7th place could be very tough. Also, maybe 8th, depending on which team is there. Barca are a mess. Yeah, it's like them every time. But Bilbao are trying to sign Laporte out. They want to sign Laporte back. He used to play for them when he was French, but he also is from the Basque region. So good luck with that. Yeah. That's what I thought. Wasn't so sure. Yeah. That's the case. By the way, how much money you want to put on the fact that tomorrow Arsenal fans are gonna boo Nico Williams because he rejected Arsenal? How much money you want to put on that? 100% that's gonna happen. And also, I wouldn't be surprised if Nico Williams tomorrow balls out against Arsenal as well. Would not be surprised. Would not be surprised. Yeah, we booed Pepe. For what? I have no idea. He got disrespected by the manager. Despite the fact that Pepe carried us in Europa League, he carried us with Aubameyang and the rest in FA Cup. He still got rejected. He never complained, never did anything, played when his name was called upon, tried his best despite Mikel Arteta playing a system which doesn't suit Pepe whatsoever, pretty much. And basically let him go. Why Arsenal are such dumbasses, I have no idea. Watch Nico Williams and his brother score. To be honest, I'm a big fan of Iñaki Williams. About, when was it? 7 years ago, 8 years ago, I wanted Iñaki Williams at Arsenal. I wanted him at Arsenal. I thought he would be very good fit for Arsenal. Well, no, it wasn't. Then it was about 6 years ago, 6 years ago. I wanted, before Arteta joined, basically. I wanted Iñaki Williams at Arsenal. But people told me I was stupid. Iñaki Williams is shit, useless, and he wouldn't help Arsenal. He was a decent player and helped us to get that FA Cup. Exactly. And let's not forget he carried us in Europa League as well against Sporting Lisbon. He scored 2 free kicks and everything. So let's not forget that one as well. Let's literally not forget that one as well. So Pepe actually was very, 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 very decent, if you ask me. But people always forget these things. Also, it's a bit. The issue why Pepe didn't work out at Arsenal, for me personally, is because of Arsenal. It's because of the manager and the system and style we wanted to play. Because if you compare how Lille played when Pepe was at Lille, right? Why we signed him technically, and how we played at Arsenal, it was like night and day. We didn't play to Pepe's strengths pretty much whatsoever. That is the biggest thing. And that's the nuts part. That is the nuts part for me personally. And people have the decency and audacity to boo him without any reason. Let's be real. Arsenal fans booed him for no goddamn particular reason whatsoever. Yet when Granit Xhaka is gonna come to Arsenal with Sunderland, right, to Emirates, all of them are gonna wave their Granit Xhaka flags and shirts all around the Emirates and gonna clap him on and off the pitch. Even if he scores against us, our fan base are gonna clap for him. Seriously. That's gonna be the case. That's how it's gonna go. Serious talk. No cap. Serious talk. That's how it's. Oh, for fuck's sake, I hate when this happens. Sorry, my phone went to the short notice. But if the Arsenal Apollo, I like Iñaki as well. He wish he came. Yeah, same it was when Isco was still at Real Madrid. About 7 years ago, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was when Isco went from obviously from Malaga to Real Madrid. He played there for a few years, but there were rumors that Ancelotti already at the first stint didn't like him. And at the time when we signed Odegaard, he was there, and I wanted us to sign actually Isco instead of Odegaard at the time. And somehow, like, people said I was stupid because they said Isco was shit. Then, like, I don't know ball. Let's just put it that way, I guess. And apparently, when I said that, Robo, I was a FIFA merchant. Yeah, exactly. Everyone tells me that I'm a FIFA merchant, football manager merchant. I know nothing about ball and everything. I'm a fake plastic fan, as they say. Zubimendi was a good signing from Sociedad, but we should have signed players from Bilbao instead, not Sociedad. Unai Simon, decent goalkeeper, Spanish #1. It's because Arteta played at Sociedad. Basically, I'm not gonna lie, I would love for Arsenal to sign Oihan Sancet, for example, from Atletico Bilbao. Obviously, he's injured right now, but overall, the way he plays and how he wants to play, I think he could ball out at Arsenal. Oihan Sancet would have been fantastic signing. If you watch Bilbao, you know. Big up Chris Welsh. Hope you're doing well. Go subscribe to Chris Welsh, people. Big up. Big up, why not? Hope you're doing well today. Xhaka. Sunset is also not that bad. Exactly. Sunset for me is a fantastic player. Same goes for Aleix Baena. He was at Villarreal last season for 45 million euros, by the way, which is about 41 million pounds. This window, he went to Atletico Madrid. I would have loved to have Aleix Baena at Arsenal. For me personally, Aleix Baena would have been the closest thing we could have gone these days to Santi Cazorla. That's how I see it. For me, Aleix Baena could have been the closest thing we could have seen to Santi Cazorla, to me personally. He can play number 10. Yes, he plays left wing for Villarreal because they play 4-4-2, and he obviously is on the left because they have Parejo and the other one, I forgot his name, in the midfield. But overall, he can play 10. He can play left wing. For me, I think he would have done well. He has a very great passing, great footballing IQ. He's fantastic from set pieces, direct and corners, and he has great vision, fantastic dribbling. He has everything. But hey, I know nothing apparently. I got Brentford, Leeds, Burnley going down. Brentford, Leeds going down. I see. For me, Leeds, I'm a bit biased. I kind of wish Leeds stays up to some extent. Yeah, there is Chris Welch's challenge. Saw him some love. See, Burnley on paper actually made good signings, but I think Burnley fans are happy just to be there, which I don't like. Yeah, there's always that one team who just is there for the money to some extent. Alejandro Berenga would have been good too. Yeah. Berenga is very decent. If we had to sign someone from Real Sociedad, for example, I would have loved to sign Oyarzabal, for example. I wouldn't mind him. He's on the left side. Would have been great. Sunderland and Leeds fans actually want to stay up. Yeah, I heard that. Leeds definitely want to stay up. Leeds are a proper club. I love Leeds. Yeah, big up every time. Big up Chris Welsh. Big up. Community settings. I think Burnley, Leeds, Brentford are the only teams in relegation battle. Everyone else will be fine. Could be. Wolves always stay up easily. Yeah, Wolves somehow managed to do their thing. I want Sunderland and Leeds to stay up of historic nostalgia. Yeah, the nostalgia definitely hits hard. Who did Brentford appoint as their manager? Let me check. I'm gonna check. Brentford, Keith Andrews as their head coach. Keith Andrews. He was assistant. He was a part of Brentford's first team coaching staff since July 2024, since last season. So basically, he was one of the right-hand man of Thomas Frank at the time. The Black Cats, Kevin Phillips. Yep. Keith Andrews. Yeah. The set piece coach. Yeah. But yeah, big up people, big up. Anyways, we have to move on. We have yapped about some other things too long. Anyways, so we are in the Champions League spot. We are in this Champions League situation where I think Liverpool are going to do this back-to-back. Although they might focus on Champions League, although I'm not too sure. City are going to be second. And this is the order. Liverpool first, City second, Chelsea third, Arsenal fourth, Newcastle fifth. That is the order in this case. Newcastle, depending on Isak deal, will either be fifth or seventh. I can see that. I think Newcastle... Wait, Newcastle bid for a striker today, didn't they? Which striker did Newcastle bid for? Because I saw them bidding for a striker. I forgot who it was. Literally forgot who Newcastle bid for. Because I remember Newcastle bid for a striker. It wasn't Sesko. It was, Wissa. Fabrizio Romano, Juan Wissa, out of Brentford's squad tonight, as he is very clear. The plan is to leave and join Newcastle. Wissa wants Newcastle. Here we go. And they are in talks with Randall Colomwani. Yeah. Newcastle want to sign Wissa and Randall Colomwani from Juventus or PSG, whatever he is at the moment. Yeah. Bournemouth lost their defense. Yeah, they kept their attack. There will be a drop off, hence why they are in that bottom side of the mid-table, and they lost 3/4 of their defense. So for me, that is a massive drop off. Personally, Liverpool, City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Newcastle, Villa, Spurs. That's my top 7. Yeah, for me, 8th, 6th, 7th, 6th, and 5th could be very close. Especially 6th, 7th, and 8th could be very, very close, in my opinion. Nah, I don't see City being above us. I think Chelsea will be more of our challenger. Well, it depends. It genuinely depends for me. But I don't see us finishing second. And also, I'm struggling right now to see us finishing third, even. With the style we are playing right now, unless Arteta robs a genie's bottle and he grants him his 3 wishes, and somehow we become the best goddamn football team in the world, literally, not in Arteta's mind only, I don't see us doing those things. Wish Marcelo Bielsa was still at least that football was not that dude. Marcelo Bielsa was a madman, how he played and how he drilled his players. But at the same time, he had Rafinha. That was fantastic to watch. He had drilled into them everything. Calvin Phillips was on fire for them as well, especially in championship. Like Marcelo Bielsa knew what he was doing. Just a shame he had a fallout as well with the ownership and everything. I think under new ownership of RB, Red Bull, right? I think he actually could have done a solid there. Also, Chelsea business is ridiculous. They made Chelsea have made 200 million in this window, and they are projected to make about 300 to 350 million from sales alone this transfer window in general. Arsenal don't make that in a decade. They do that in 2.5, 3 months. How nuts is that? I just feel same old Leopards are going to throw Amorim under the bus just like previous managers. Could be the case, but with United, given their United have issues, there's no argument about that. Goalkeeping, they need a number 6 and everything, and all those players. But United are not going to be mid-table. They're not going to be lower mid-table as well. They're going to be, I think, in that top 7, top 8 battle one, in my opinion, for sure. Newcastle would be better off getting Visa and Gonçalves Ramos. Yeah, apparently they are getting Visa wants Newcastle. Apparently Newcastle are also want Visa, and they want Colomwani or Gonçalo Ramos. But it looks like from the most recent reports from Fabrizio Romano, it looks like they are preferring Randall Colomwani. And Colomwani is not a bad player. He's just inconsistent in finishing, but overall he's not a bad player. If they get him, it could be very interesting to see how they do that, how they kind of adapt. Because to some extent, Isak, Colomwani, yes, the finishing is not there, but otherwise, it could be very interesting to see how they recover. I think Chelsea gets second and we get third. Yeah, Arteta should go either way. I'm not gonna lie, Arteta should go either way. But yeah, I can see us struggling quite heavily. 14 likes. Big up AJ and big up people in the chat. Big up everyone. Like and subscribe. Arsenal 6th or 7th for me. Europa League, Conference League. Nuts part is we are probably not going to win either of those as well once we are in them, ironically. But I don't think so. I don't think so. Although we have seen glimpses of the fact that Arsenal are bad and they can be woeful, literally woeful. At the same time, no matter how you look at it, I still believe that we have too much quality in the team not to finish in top 5, like 2nd to 5th. I don't think we have that low of a quality. Obviously, football is not played on paper, it's played on the pitch, and anything can happen, but hey. Yeah, big up people. Like the stream and subscribe if you haven't already as well. Big up AJ every time. What a legend as well. Yeah, Maybach music. Rodri post ACL won't be the same. City midfield is uncertain for me if they gel or not. Plus, they will have a leaky defense. Yes, but you can say same thing about Arsenal. Saka is back from ACL. Gabriel is coming back from ACL. What's going to happen with Timba? No idea. How Zubimendi is going to feel in Premier League. How Gyökeres will be adapted. How Arteta is going to include in his attack. What's going to happen to our left wing position and everything. Will Rice get injured again? Will Odegaard step up for a change and everything? If you put it those ways, we are in a worse shape than City. And our defense is leaking quite heavily as well in preseason. Against Villarreal, we conceded 3 goals for the first time in about 2 years. It was Villarreal, you know. I'm telling you, just like I said in the beginning of the stream, there are too many goddamn variables at this stage. At the same time, this is the best time to do this type of prediction because there is still room for teams to fix some stuff and the season hasn't kicked off. Because after the first few games, you kind of get indications what could happen, and then it's no fun anymore to some extent for me personally. I love your optimism, dude. It's not optimism, it's just something. Like, you cannot take Arsenal out of me. Like, I want Arsenal to succeed and win, despite the fact that you consider all of me toxic, negative, fake fan, plastic fan. I should F off down the lane. I should genuinely suck. eat bricks, suck watermelons, and all that crap you want to think of, right? I still want to see Arsenal win. I want Arsenal to win trophies. I want Arsenal to win everything they can. I'm gonna cuss Arsenal out. I'm gonna be angry, disappointed, pissed off, and everything. At the same time, that doesn't mean I want them to win. I don't want them to win. That doesn't mean that. Like, come on. We are better than Newcastle. Yeah, you say we are better than Newcastle, Villa, and United for sure. Yet, we lost to 10-man United in FA Cup last season. We drew against them. We struggle against Villa every season. Newcastle, in the last 4 games, have beaten us. We have beaten Newcastle. We have scored 1 goal at St. James Park in 3 years now. Like, there is not too much to be excited about from that point of view, is there? And we have lost to Newcastle in most of those games when they don't have Isak, which is also telling a lot. I changed my mind. 5th. Like, for me, it's 4th or 5th. Arteta should go either way, to be honest. City is still all over the place. Yeah, they are. Defensively, they have big issues. They need a right back. They need another center back. And they need to fix ASAP if they want to do something big. That's why I put them nowhere near winning the title. Yeah, I don't think they're going to win title as well. But they're going to improve from last season. And last season, they finished 3rd. 6 or 5 points behind us only. And in my opinion, if the season was, let's just say, like in Championship, 46 games, we would not have finished 2nd. We would have finished most likely, I would say 4th or 5th, because also Newcastle was just 6 or 7 points behind us. It wasn't that far off. Chelsea as well was literally breathing on our necks. It literally was this close. Arsenal 3rd for me due to Arteta holding us back. Yeah, you back. Yeah. Sorry, you're a Liverpool fan. Totally genuinely blanked it for a second. 3rd, I don't think we're going to finish 3rd. I think we actually might be lower. Chelsea need goalkeeper, 2 quality center backs. Well, they have Hato. He's going to be a center back / left back. We'll see how that goes for them. They need a goalkeeper desperately. Desperately, they need a goalkeeper. If they manage to sign Mike Magnano or someone like that, like, it could be very, very hard watch as an Arsenal fan. Yeah, but City's depth in defense is not. Yeah, definitely. At the same time, we have. You see, defense in depth is not as good as ours, right? One thing I'll give Arteta credit for. At the same time, Calafiori is injury prone. Timber, what's going to happen there? No idea. Gabriel is coming back from an ACL, so no idea what's going to happen there. I wouldn't be surprised if Saliba gets injured this season as well, given how much he's playing without rest. Plus, it's World Cup year. And on top of all that, the drop-off from starting 11 to bench is quite massive. I'm not going to lie, to some extent, I would love to see Saliba and Mosquera as the center-back pairing, because they looked pretty damn solid when they played against Villarreal when Mosquera came on. Nah, I can't see you in Tottenham colors. Thank you. Genuinely, thank you. I have a white shirt, but that's not because of Tottenham. That's because I have a white shirt. Like everyone has, because in summer, if you walk around in black, dark clothes, it's end of days. Big up Dixon. And I have no idea what that means. We have shown that over season we are better than Newcastle, Villa, and United. Of course, nothing is certain, but I'm going based on business and recent league. Yeah, if we go that way, I think we're going to finish above them. Yeah, over Villa, Newcastle. And that's why I have them below us, basically. That's why I have them below us. But I would not also be surprised if this season, due to previous seasons, players being overplayed, drained, and absolutely run into the ground, we will see even bigger drop-off than we saw last season. I would not be shocked, and most likely that's what's going to happen. We are certainly not set up for tournament football, in my opinion. Nope. We are not set up for anything. We just wing it. We won FA Cup, since then haven't got past 3rd round. Carabao Cup semi-final. Okay, cool, but what does that mean? We have scored 2 goals in last 7 semi-final games. 2 goals in 7 semi-final games. One in 2 games against PSG. 0 in 2 games against Newcastle. 1 in 2 games against Villarreal in semi-final Europa League, and somebody else there was. I forgot who it was. Liverpool, I think it was, or something like that. Like, it's actually quite embarrassing how bad our semi-final performance is. Chelsea lost Colville. Yeah, Colville pulled an ACL. That is a massive loss for them. That is a massive loss for them. But that could happen to anyone. That literally could happen to anyone. And yeah, it's painful. It's not. It's always hurtful to see. You got to see basic. You got to basically. It's painful to see someone get injured. That's why I read only the first name. That's why I read only the first name. Yeah, Stepanos, my guy. I'm curious to see how Chalobah plays this season for Chelsea. If they get another center back, could be Peakham's. World Cup year as well, so who knows where players are mentally. Exactly. Will they give 100% or will they be worried about getting injured or overworked? Especially players like that are coming just now back from injuries. They will play to a level where they get back into shape, but I wouldn't be surprised if they will not want to overextend themselves, overexhaust themselves, and overplay themselves just so they are ready for the World Cup. I would not be surprised, especially given that many teams actually have pretty much starting 11s and even backups as substitutes as the players in the big teams that are in the World Cup. It could be very interesting to see. But that is going to happen more once 2026 hits, in my opinion. But that is still long times away because by that time we could have lost pretty much everything, right? And it won't matter as much anymore. But yeah. Okay, question for you all. Question for the chat. Who is winning Golden Boot for Premier League next season? Who is winning Golden Boot? Odegaard better give 1,000% though, since I know Norway ain't gonna be there as Norwegian myself. You think you're gonna ball it? Because you are in a very good spot to advance into World Cup. You literally are this close, aren't you? Because if you ball it, it's gonna be nuts. And it's very hard for Odegaard to be worse than he was last season. Very hard. And if he manages to do that, oh my goddamn days. Arsenal's history in selling players is simply... Oh. That should be investigated 100%. Erling Haaland. Nah, we will ball it. Well, good luck. I genuinely hope you do, because personally, I would love to see Norway in the World Cup. I would love to see Sorloth, Nutsa, what's its face, Hjelde, and Sterback. Forgot his name. Oh my god, forgot his name. Sterback, Norway. How am I blanking on this? I forgot name of your center back, man. I know some Norwegian players, right? I would love to see them, definitely in the World Cup. Salah for Golden Boot. I can see that. Haaland, then Mateta. Mateta is... I'm surprised nobody has gone in for Mateta. Genuinely surprised. Golden Boot, Salah or Isak? Well, depends. If Isak plays for Liverpool, might not happen. If he stays... Well, he's not going to stay at Newcastle, so it will be... Ayer, right, Brentford. Ayer, yes, Ayer. Brentford, Ayer. Yeah. My brain. And Ostigard, I also know. Yeah, Ostigard. Yeah. But I think you actually have a very decent team to some extent. It's just your striking power is amazing, to be honest. You have Sorloth, you have Haaland. Those two are fantastic. I love Sorloth as a player. 28 million euros from Sociedad to Atletico Madrid. Why didn't Arsenal sign Sorloth? Anyone can riddle me? Since we like to cross the ball. He's tall, he's strong, he can head the ball, he has very good pace on him, very good shot on him. Yes, technical ability might not be there as much, but hey, we can work around that. World Cup is pointless for me. I'm Japanese, Norwegian. So you're Injuriyasu fan. Yee. Two teams that are... I'm not gonna lie, those are two teams that nobody expects them to do anything, but they always get rooted for in every World Cup because everyone loves a good underdog story. And for example, especially Japan is a very likable underdog, very likable. Plus, Japan has very decent talent, like Don Asano, ex-Arsenal, of course, Miyachi, Kubo. Miyachi, yeah, he still plays. Takefusa Kubo, Suzuki and everyone. Like you have Japan has decent talent. Yes, defensively they have Yoshida and players like that are past their prime, right? But they still have good, decent players. Yes, but we will never win. Well, but hey, you're an Arsenal fan as well. It's taking part that counts, right? It's taking part that counts. If you look from if you are an Arsenal fan, you can look through that lens as well if you want. It's taking part that counts, basically. But yeah, we'll see how that's gonna happen. Like for me, it's not that better, to be honest. My national team sucks ass. Genuinely can admit that. In F1, I'm a Ferrari fan for 24 years, so that is going down the drain because we are a clown show. In NBA, my team is Chicago Bulls for again 20 plus years. Again, we are a clown show right now. It's not looking great. So every team I support, it's genuinely ass. So it's a rough one for me as well. Like seriously, I'm gonna go with this to win the Golden Boot. Like I'm scary feeling about João Pedro, dude. João Pedro signed for Chelsea, played 2 games, scored 3 goals, and won Chelsea the Club World Cup. How nuts is that? The perfect start in the team, isn't it? Arsenal, Japan, Norway, and born in US. The US suck as well. You have Pochettino as the manager. Holy crap! Like, it's like Mickey Mouse Funhouse. The Disney thing. Like it's actually kind of insane if you ask me. Like that is like nuts. Trusty the process, right? But yeah, people. Anyways, those are our Premier League predictions. Those were for us. No Jokeres, no chance. Under this manager, no shot. I'm like 5% German. They're good, yeah? But don't think it's enough to support them. 5% still counts. 5% still counts. Don't worry. Although they also are not good anymore. They have dropped their one generation that basically won them all pretty much has passed. And I think they're gonna suffer right now for a few tournaments. What a dumb signing, Trusty. Dude, PR signing, and that was also signing from Stan Kroenke's team, Colorado Rapids, wasn't it? So money laundering and scheming and all that. Japan is underrated. They have very good talent. Like whenever I do FIFA career modes like EAFC, I sometimes like in EFC 25, for example, you can turn off all the objectives, right? And I just pick out one nation where I scout, only one nation where I scout, and build specifically like a national team just for club competitions, right? And I pick out South Korea, Japan, obviously Latvia, of course, and teams like that. And I play until I can build a squad and I'm properly in contention for Premier League, Champions League, and all this stuff. It's very fun because it kind of restricts you because I cannot sign anyone from transfer market. I can sign free agents, but I cannot sign anyone from any other players. Like, even though I just do Japan, I cannot sign any Japanese players from anywhere around the world. Only free agents and only what I have scouted. Like that. I like set myself some restrictions. What a dumbass thing. We are the best Asian team for sure. Yeah. Unless Australia kicks into gear. But yeah, people, I think on that note, we're going to end today's stream. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Hopefully you had fun. Big up to you all. If you haven't already, like the stream, subscribe if you haven't already. Of course, tomorrow after the game, 8 p.m. UK time, we are live. We're going to talk about that Bilbao game. And Arsenal, you better not dare to screw us over. I'm going for, I don't even know what I'm going for, to be honest. I haven't even thought that far. 2-1 Arsenal win. We need to finish on a win, shouldn't we? I'm going for a 2-1 Arsenal win. Don't give a damn about penalties and crap like that. I think Arsenal are going to win tomorrow 2-1. But that is Arsenal from my heart speaking, right? But I think we're going to win 2-1 somehow, but we're going to do it. But yeah, that is my prediction for tomorrow's game. So big up, people. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Have a nice evening. Have a nice Saturday tomorrow. Enjoy your time off if you don't work. Relax, chill with your family, friends. Do something you love. Take your mind off Arsenal until they play in the evening because that's going to be another shit show. So yeah, until tomorrow, have a nice time and see you then. Peace.